Hello everyone, this is a video about methylene blue and ADHD medications like Adderall and Ritalin and the like. Just before jumping into the body of the video, if you wouldn't mind taking a quick second to either like, share, subscribe, or post a quick comment on the video, I'd really appreciate it. So thanks in advance for taking a second to do that. And also, as per usual, nothing I'm saying should be construed as medical advice. This is for informational purposes only. If you need medical advice, please talk to your healthcare provider to get that advice. So someone recently asked a question on one of my other videos about methylene blue, about whether it's safe to take methylene blue with Adderall. The video that the person posted the comment on was about not combining methylene blue with medications that increase serotonin in a meaningful way, like SSRI medications would be a classic example of that. Some other meds increase serotonin as well. And quite frankly, a lot of other folks and other comments have asked about ADHD medications and combining it and whatnot as well with methylene blue. So I thought, hey, let's have a video about this. And I was also inspired to make yet another methylene blue video because I just finished listening to a really informative, I think really well done podcast episode all about methylene blue. There's a podcast that I oftentimes listen to. It's called the Energy Blueprint. It's the podcast of Mr. Ari Whitten. Ari is he's a health coach, is I think maybe his technical appellation, but he's been in the health field for a long time. Listening to him talk, he sounds about 10 times smarter than many doctors and PhDs and folks out there that talk about different health related topics. He's super smart and has been in it for a really long time, and I really enjoy his podcast. I don't listen to every episode because only so many hours in the day, but he oftentimes has really great guests, really great topics, and I've learned quite a bit from him over the years. So highly recommend listening to his recent episode with Dr. Scott Scherr. Dr. Scherr, Sherr, I believe is how you pronounce his last name. I've been following him on Instagram for quite a while. He's a big hyperbaric oxygen therapy guy, but he's also a big methylene blue guy as well, as it turns out. So the two of them were chatting about methylene blue, and it's really good episode. I thought it was a really good synopsis of things, talking about how methylene blue actually works, kind of dispelling some of the mysticism around methylene blue in a way in terms of its the physiology of how it works. So I thought it was a really great episode. So highly recommend that. So I wanted to make this video to talk about the ADHD medications and then also just have an excuse to plug this episode of the Energy Blueprint. So as far as taking methylene blue with ADHD medication, again, not providing any medical advice here. Talk to your doctor about what's the best fit for you, or your clinician about what the best approach is for you. But to my understanding, I'm not aware of any contraindications taking methylene blue with ADHD medication. The big contraindications are medications that directly increase serotonin in a very meaningful way. And also if a person has something called a G6PD deficiency, also known as glucose 6-phosphate dehydrogenase, which is a certain enzyme. Folks who have a deficiency in that enzyme might not be able to safely take methylene blue. Now, what I gathered myself from looking at some of the research literature and what I've learned from some mentors who have lectured about methylene blue, also what I've seen in clinical practice, but it was also just kind of confirmed by Dr. Scherr on the Energy Blueprint episodes. He was talking about this as well. It seems that one probably only needs to worry about a glucose 6-phosphate dehydrogenase deficiency issue if they're taking like really high doses of methylene blue, like intravenous doses potentially, or like really high oral doses. The same thing is true with vitamin C. People who have this enzyme deficiency, it's not safe for them to take super high doses of IV vitamin C, but oral vitamin C is usually no problem. Even fairly lowish doses, like doses of say like 10 grams or less of IV vitamin C is oftentimes, to my understanding, perfectly safe. It's such a rare enzyme deficiency. I've only had a couple of patients with it over time, and we didn't try, IV methylene blue or anything, so I can't say exactly how it would have gone for them because I wouldn't recommend something like that for them, but it's something where I don't think that's an issue just with taking regular oral dosing. But yeah, as far as ADHD medications go, where they're not the primary mechanism of action is not to boost up serotonin, I'm not aware of those being contraindicated with methylene blue. I've had a few patients on ADHD medications taking methylene blue, have not seen any issue with that at all. So I think that it is safe, but again, one should talk to their clinician to get an official recommendation for themselves in that type of instance. So I hope that this answered the question. If anybody has any outstanding questions on this topic or anything else, please post it in the comment section below. And if you listen to that episode of the Energy Blueprint and you like it, please post in the comment section and let me know, because I'd be curious to know what you liked about it and what kind of some of the useful take-home messages were. So feel free to comment on that if you're so inclined. I'll leave it there for now.